Hello, this is Anthony Russo, one of the speakers at the Becoming the Best You event. I hope that I get to see some of you guys there. It's one of those great events, and if you're looking for something different in your life, a breakthrough, a way to get unstuck, if you're looking for motivation or inspiration, this is the place to be. I've had the pleasure of doing some of these before, the one in person in Kansas City. I've done the virtual events, and I've gotten to speak to people about overcoming failure, staying away from a victim mindset and actually realizing you have the power to be the change in your own life. I'm going to be talking about stuff like that, and I'm sure you're going to have some great messages from some of the other speakers. So I hope to see you guys there.
Hey friends, I want to tell you about an amazing conference you have to be a part of. It's called Becoming the Best You, hashtag BTBY, and it's going to be in the St. Louis area. Whether you can be in St. Louis or not, you can attend virtually. Of course, it would be awesome if you're there, but if you can't be, you can attend virtually. You can learn more at comechangeyourlife.com. So please join us in St. Louis, physically or virtually. It's going to be a great time. I've attended these before. It changed my life, and I'm telling you, it's going to change yours too. It's comechangeyourlife.com to learn more about becoming the best you. I'm just a lowly comedian that's going to be performing Saturday night, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a great time for that. But all the dozens and dozens of amazing speakers will change your life. Comechangeyourlife.com, St. Louis. Virtual or physical, you can join either way. Who's with me?
Hey, it's Bren with Becoming the Best You. I have Sheri Berger with me. And let me tell you, this lady, I just met her a couple months ago, but we've known each other on social media for a little bit. She's got a story, and she likes to help people become the best version of themselves. So Sheri, tell us a little bit about how you were raised and your later life in marriage, and then that led you to write this book you have out and your coaching services.
Oh, wow. That could be a lot, right? But long story short, I was raised in Wasilla, Alaska, believe it or not. So I grew up in Wasilla, Alaska, and didn't go to kindergarten.
Oh,
it was not mandatory back then. So we were remodeling a house and building a house. So then I went to first grade, and I went to private school till fifth grade, and didn't learn how to read till about third grade.
Oh.
So they found I had some form of dyslexia, which was interesting. How you would make it through first and second grade without reading. That's right. And so, but I was really proud of myself in third grade because I learned how to read. And then from reading in third grade, later I went to public school in fifth grade. And so in fifth grade, I was reading at a third grade level.
Right.
And they put me in special resources. They didn't know what to do with me. And I'm a little kid trying to figure out life. I'm about 10. And well, that's how old I was in fifth grade. And then I didn't have any friends, had to struggle. It was a lot because they put me in special resources, didn't know what to do with me. So they would take me out and let me do book reports in front of my peers. Fifth grade with third graders.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
That was very embarrassing. And then that was reinforced at home, and just told that I really didn't expect much out of me because supposedly I had some kind of learning disability. So from there, you just grow up and think you're not that smart.
You're not
told
smart.
You're not that pretty. You're just told a lot of stuff from society, and then if it's being reinforced at home, and just all those things that you can take in as a child. And then I haven't lived at home since I was 17 because my dad and my mom were not separated by choice, but when we moved from Atlanta, and then when my dad moved back home, he kicked me out multiple times. So I moved out 2 days after I was 17, and I haven't lived at home. But you always thought you were ugly, and you always thought you were not that smart. So what do you do when you're 17 and you don't live at home? Got married at 18 to an abusive alcoholic.
Because you thought you had to.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And he owned me for, believe it or not, I was only married for about 3 years. But 17 to 20, I got married at 18, and I got divorced by the time I was 20. And I met a friend of mine when I was 18, and I was pregnant at 18. Right after I got married, I accidentally got pregnant because who would think of, right? 5 months later, I was pregnant and I had a baby by the time I was 20. And after 4 times of leaving my ex-husband, very abusive, alcoholic, he had to be drunk though to be abusive, right? So I
Right.
would say that's okay. He didn't
Know
mean
what he was
to,
doing.
and yeah, and I can't get better. So then when I was about 20, I wanted to leave him. My mom says, well, what are you going to do? You're not that pretty. You're not that smart. I mean, what are you going to
You're
do?
your own mom.
Yeah. And I don't believe she was talking to me, right? But back then I was only 20. And I believe it was her, right? That she was insecure, and she was, but I didn't know that at 20. And, parents can only know what they know, right? They can only what they are experiencing. And I met a guy that was amazing when I was 18, and he believed in me and he supported me and he took me under his wing and he became my second dad. And I just lost him 2 years ago. But every time I would tell myself, or I felt somebody else was telling me that I couldn't, he would say, do you want to, or you don't? So at 20, I ended up going and getting my driver's license,
You
my
were 20 when you
GED.
got your driver's license? Wow.
Before I was 21. I got it before I was 21. Come on. I got my driver's license at 21, before I was 21. And then I went and got my GED. And then I went to college. And I just didn't believe I could do it. So I got my associate's degree. Then I got my bachelor's degree. And having somebody in your corner that every time you doubted yourself, when you couldn't have confidence with yourself, and they said, but you can. Why can't you? So I finally got a bachelor's degree, something I never, ever thought I could do. And it was amazing. And then I had a great job, system engineer. Then I started doing, I got married the love of my life, met him along the way. Didn't want a boyfriend or a husband.
Yeah, because you just went through something.
Yeah. And I said, God gave me both, right? And so then from there, I met him and I had some more kids. And then I felt like I had to choose between my career and my kids. So I started staying home and doing consulting and coaching. And then I owned my own business. And what do us as women do? We do whatever we have to do
Survival.
to raise a family. So I was adjuncting at Brown Mackey. Well, 9/11 happened and I lost my brother in the Pentagon. And I was pregnant with number 4 child. And so I was doing consulting before that, but then I became high risk pregnancy. A lot of stuff happened. And what do? We just do what we have to do. So I adjunct, I taught classes, I did a bunch of conversions for Hy-Vee. I just did whatever I needed to do. And about 11 years ago, I started up this business. And we do a kind of combination of consulting and coaching. And we help people and we create the life and business that you deserve.
Did you hear that? You do deserve it.
Yeah, that you deserve, that you would love, right? That we can have the work-life balance, or can we really have it as women?
It's tough. I don't know that we can.
But we can decide what kind of life we want. And we can move it from here to there, which is the name of my company. And then I knew I needed to write a book. But who am I to write a book? Didn't I tell you I supposedly have some form of dyslexia? I can't write a book. Who am I to write a book? So I always knew I needed to write a book. But who am I? And then I lost my second dad 2 years ago. And before he passed on, I was supposed to be a speaker on a women's business cruise before, this pandemic happened.
You mean the pandemic?
Before that happened. And then, the world shut down. And then my second dad wasn't doing well. And I wanted to get my book written before he passed on. But I don't know. I had all these other things I had to do through the pandemic. They were shutting down small businesses.
They wanted things shut down.
So I had to run around and be an advocate, or I didn't have to. I don't know about you. I cried for the first 2 weeks when the world shut down.
It was a change, not being able to do the things you're used to doing
So
or what to do.
So I was praying, and God's like, you have a whole toolbox. Go use it. So I went out and helped as many small to mid-sized businesses as I could. And I accidentally got caught doing the right thing.
Ooh, wow.
And Governor Kelly, I got nominated for the Kansas Business Women Advocate of the Year.
Mhm.
Governor Kelly gave me that award last year. So just a year ago, I won that award. Well, then I got another award, Small Business Superstar. And I just realized I really need to finish my book.
But
So
all
I
this coming from
published,
somebody that was told you weren't good enough. You weren't pretty enough. You weren't smart enough.
and how many people
Yeah.
get told that?
We do. We do. And it might not be even in those words, but it's the way people talk to us, the way that they treat us, the way that they make us feel, makes you feel that way, even if you weren't said those exact words.
Yeah. And so my book is about helping you create the life and business that you love, right? And finding the balance in it all. And of course, guess what? Everything always starts with
I'm sure you're going to tell us.
mindset, right?
Mhm.
Everything belongs in mindset. So chapter 1's all about that mindset. And chapter 2 is about having the vision, purpose, and mission, but not just for your business, but for your life, right?
That's right.
And chapter 3 is about having your goals set in 6 different areas I teach about. And then 4 is about having those people in your life.
And this is important, guys. This also affects your mindset.
Exactly. If you have the right people in your life, where can you go? And chapter 5 is about making sure that your pre-spending plan in your business and your life are in line with what you said your goals were in chapter 3 and what your vision and purpose is. And then chapter 6 is our most valuable resource. What is that?
Well, that would be us or time.
It'd be time, right? We can't get more of us, right? We can make more money, but we can't get more time. So if we figure out how to make sure that our time is putting all that in place. So this book, I've been teaching on this stuff for quite a while, for the last 11 years. And what I say is, it's like having a coach in a box, right? And that's why I wrote my book, is to make a bigger impact for people, because, life experience can teach you so much, but what a better way to share it but with a book or your message,
Yes.
or making sure that you're living your life.
And everybody
Your
learns
fault.
differently. They receive information differently. So sometimes reading it gets it into the brain.
Yep. And listening to podcasts and what are you doing too to grow right in those areas? So
Well, people just look at music, what it does. You can be in a bad mood and you're in your car and some songs come on, instantly you change. A book can do the same thing. Self-help, anything can do the same thing. A podcast, even if you listen to the book on Audible or music or a good conversation with a friend, things are needed to change your mindset. When you change your mindset, it also will affect your mood ongoing to where you're not always stuck in a bad mood.
it's true.
Mhm.
That's so true.
So you do more than that too. You speak.
I am. I'm a
Mhm.
professional speaker. I've been
Yes.
speaking for 20 years now, which again, I told you, I didn't think I could do public speaking. 20 years ago, I joined Toastmasters because I was terrified to speak. And I'm an extrovert on steroids. So people were like, what?
It's different.
No, because if you got took out of a 5th grade special resource room and gave book reports in front of your 3rd grade peers, what would that do to you?
Puts fear in you.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So I thought everybody's going to mock me. Everybody's going to make fun of me. Oh, wait a minute. They might do it anyway, but they're going to do it no matter what, even if you're up speaking, right? So yeah, so I started doing public speaking, and then God also humbled me in that, because I was like, I don't want to do this. God goes, it's not about you, it's about your message. So I go out and try to give messages and encourage and support people, because you never know who needs your story.
And you do have a story. If you have a story, get in contact with us. If you have a story about becoming the best version of yourself that can help others, then we would like to know about it, because I learn something every time I meet with Sheri. Every single time I learn a little bit more about her, what she's been through, what she's going through now. and what she's doing about it. And see, that's the key right there. What are you doing about it? Are you just going to stay stuck on that couch watching the TV, waiting for the world to give you something? Or are you going to get up and make it happen? And that's kind of what she did. She got told she was not smart enough. She got told she was not pretty enough. Who's going to marry you? She found another husband. She went on to have more children. She went on to write the book. She went on to become self-employed, and she went on to not rely on anybody else but her. You can do it too. You can do it too. What is the chapter in your book that addresses relationships?
Chapter 4. That's on who you have in your life,
Mhm.
right? And who that matters.
Can we touch on that a little bit? Why that's so important?
Well, because I say that there's 4 different people that you need in your life. You need your coaches,
Mhm.
you need your mentors, you need your friends. And so those are the relationships that you need, right? You need your mentors, your coaches, your friends, and your cheerleaders. I knew I'd remember before. Cheerleaders are so important, right? People that believe in you and will encourage you and support you no matter what. Now, I'm from Kansas, and I am not a big sports fan. I grew up in Alaska. Then I lived in Atlanta. Atlanta was always fair weather. So if they supported their sports. If you've ever been to Kansas, I'm going to let you know Chiefs and Royals can do anything, and their fans support them. I mean, we did go to the Super Bowl. We are pretty phenomenal. Let's be
And the Royals
real,
did win
right?
the World Series
And the
a few years
Royals
back.
did win the World Series. But even when we were losing, people still, we have like the loudest stand.
We do.
So do you
Very-
have the loudest stand in your life? Do you have those cheerleaders?
and they're not always your family.
No, they're not.
I am not putting down anybody's family, but sometimes your family could be the main reason why you're stuck.
Mhm. That can be, if you have toxic people, right? I talk about that too. And it could be your family or other people. And those friends, when I say friends, I mean, there's a difference between associates and acquaintances and your actual friends. You need those. And if you don't have coaches and mentors, that's one thing that Gerald, my second dad, at 20 years old, I have always had mentors and coaches. And some people go, you're a coach and you have coach. Yes,
How can you be a coach if you don't believe in coaching and try to better yourself?
you got to better yourself. And you got to have those mentors and those coaches that have been there.
Can you explain the difference between a coach and a mentor?
A mentor is somebody that is more experienced than you, right? That has been like when I went in as a programmer analyst in the 1990s when women were not in programming, the first thing I was told is go find a mentor in books, right? Where the books are. Now we can Google it. But to go find that person that's already done what you're trying to do. So mentors are those people that have done before you. I have Bible study friends of 32 years. And they're 20 years older than me, and they've done, right? They've raised kids, they've done. So they're great mentors for me. Coaches are those people that are going to challenge you and push you and help you come up with a plan of how to move you from here to there. They're going to help you with, like resources and, and your coach could be part of your mentor too, right?
It could be the same.
They can be the same. And I do a combination of both, but still to make sure you have mentors in different areas. I mean, personal trainer, right? If you want to lose weight, you need one of those, or you want to
Yes.
work out. You need those people that are going to push you to the next level. And you know what? I always tell people, even people that work with me, don't always keep working with the same coach.
Yes.
You might get a new one. I told you my mentors of 32 years. So they're probably more my friends and my mentors. It doesn't mean that I don't get people that are in the next level
Right.
for mentorship. But with coaches, I think you need to.
Sometimes you can outgrow
Yeah.
a circle, you can outgrow a coach, you can outgrow a job, you can outgrow a relationship. You sure
Mhm.
can.
Yeah. And so to make sure you're going to that next level and realize, I mean, you were saying that I became self-reliant, and I don't think I'm self-reliant. I think I tried to do that for a minute, and God threw me on my face when I went through losing my brother and everything in the Pentagon. Not that I wasn't a Christian, but God started realizing Don't be so self-reliant, Sheri. I put other people in your house, in your life to support you, but I'm more God reliant, and God brings the right people in your life along your journey for a season, for a reason.
He also removes them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, nobody's, I hate to tell you, but nobody's gonna be here forever except for God. And so you're gonna have people along your journey, and to realize that. And like, I just had a really hard loss, right? Told you about my amazing friend, Gerald Harris, second dad to me, more of a parent to me than my parents. And I lost him 2 years ago, but I didn't lose him, right? Because then we could go find him, right? He's in heaven. He went on to his next level, but God's going to put other people along my journey, right? As I'm evolving and growing.
He does not make mistakes. And
That's
sometimes he
true.
removes the very people who we think are going to be the people that are going to get us there. And in reality, sometimes it's not. How do you give us some words of wisdom on how to go about getting rid of people in your life?
I don't think you should get rid of people, but you could outgrow people. And that's okay. That's just called boundaries, right? And if you haven't read the book, why should I even try to write
Oh, see,
the
you gotta
book
get
Boundaries?
You got to get
The book Boundaries. If you haven't read it, pick it up. There's also a podcast, right? So to have boundaries with those people, and some people will respect them.
They do.
And
And
that's
some
okay
don't.
as you evolve. I have one of my friends, we've been friends for 30 some years. So she's seen me evolve over the years. And she's like, wow, sometimes I don't. And I will be honest, she's not a good person with boundaries, but she is, because she loves me and respects me. So she's learned that, oh, Sheri has boundaries. And if I don't
she's
violate them,
you're good.
we're good. But when I do, then all of a sudden it hurts our relationship. Now, that individual I'm talking about, which you guys don't know, and I don't need to say, she doesn't understand that maybe in her own life, but she's still a good friend, right? So I haven't removed her so-called out of my life. I just have clear boundaries. Same with your family, same with your friends, but there are going to be those boundary violators, the people that just won't. And if you become like a broken record, and just maybe have spent less time with them, maybe you have to stop hanging out with them. But I always jokingly and not jokingly, don't go up to somebody and say, I am so done with being friends with you, or have anything, right? You don't need to be that crude or mean.
You just associate different.
Just associate different with them, or set up boundaries. And if they respect them, you guys can stay friends. You can move on in your relationship. Maybe it'll be different, but some people aren't going to respect them.
That's true.
And so you have to respect yourself enough just
do.
to say, I will be happy to do ABC, but I won't do 1, 2, 3, right? I'm just not. Whatever that is, whatever your boundaries are. But I would start with that book, Boundaries. I think everybody should read that book.
That is amazing and very good advice. So Sheri, how can they get in touch with you if they need to get in contact with a coach or a mentor, or even to get your book?
Well, my book is on Amazon, and it's Here to There Revealed. And I have a website, here to there consulting.com. And then if you go out to Linktree, is it Linktree, Sheri Berger? Anyway, I'm all over social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you can find all those on my website, here to there consulting.com.
Well, thank you, Sheri. You have been very insightful. Pick up her book. I think you'll like what it's got to say, and I think you can use the information in it for yourself. So if you're stuck in a job, in a relationship, in an environment that's not healthy for you, this book's going to help you get through it and get out of it. That's what this book does. It is an amazing story of how she did it and how you can do it. And I'm not even sure it talks about her life in it, but because she did it, that advice is in the book. So it is about how she did it. So take the
Yes.
advice and get the book. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for incredible stories of just ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Thanks for watching.
You have to be a part of. It's called Becoming the Best You. Hashtag BTBY. And it's going to be in the St. Louis area. Whether you can be in St. Louis or not, you can attend virtually. Of course, it would be awesome if you're there. But if you can't be, you can attend virtually. You can learn more at comechangeyourlife.com. So please join us in St. Louis physically or virtually. It's going to be a great time. I've attended these before. It changed my life, and I'm telling you, it's going to change yours too. It's comechangeyourlife.com to learn more about becoming the best you. I'm just a lowly comedian that's going to be performing Saturday night, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a great time for that. But all the dozens and dozens of amazing speakers will change your life. Comechangeyourlife.com, St. Louis. Virtual or physical, you can join either way. Who's with me?
Hey guys, so I was recently asked why BTBY, and I think it is absolutely amazing when everybody comes together with the single purpose of helping you overcome your challenges in life, because I know personally that life can be a roller coaster full of ups and downs and swirls and all kinds of things that are going to try to get you off your game. But you can get back up. You can overcome those challenges. And that's all what BTBY is about. So be there. I hope to see you in St. Louis in October and in the future, because you never know where we're going with these events. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.